The following may contain language which will be offensive to some people and inappropriate for children. Still here? Then pour your favorite beverage and let's get this fucking show started.
Forum, assemble! You're watching Fantastic Forum, the premier show about comic books and your live weekly conversation about entertainment and geek culture. We are the Fantastic Forum, coming to you live and direct from the Hall of F. Hope you're having a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night, as the case may be, depending on where you are in the world. And if you're not, you should stick with us. We'll help you take it up a notch. You have the usual suspects in the building. First, he is our riddle inside of an enigma trapped in Chinese finger cuffs. You don't know him. You love him anyway. He's our silent assassin, Jay.
Hey, what's up?
Yes. Next, he's the backbone, the pillar, the strength of Fantastic Forum, our nigh invulnerable brawler and resident strongman, Moses Magnum.
What's up? Sorry.
Swear to me.
I watched the Golden Globes and I got stuck in what I thought was the Elvis voice, but it's not.
Oh, got you. As for myself, my name is Lawrence Young. They call me Mary Young. I am your humble servant. Welcome to Fantastic Forum. Shout out to Oz. He's not here today.
It's all your fault.
So, I don't think I could take the blame for that one. That's I get it though.
He was ready till you broke his heart.
He was ready to look. Oz hit me like I'm out here in Illinois. I'm actually right now. I am in Germantown Hills.
Well,
I'm pretty sure I said that right. Germantown Hills. I am at Mad Max Coffee Shop in Germantown Hills, which is my one of my closest friends, my bestie Harold. This is his coffee shop. So he let me use this space so I can do the show and have not just a random sock hanging behind me or anything like that. And so and not to mention that this is no one's gonna bother me here.
You
be as loud as I want. Huh?
You don't even like coffee.
I don't. Even though the coffee here is actually really good.
Yeah. That's some old boy shit. Yeah, that's it.
No, I'm telling you, Harold made me something that I was like, wow, this is actually really good. I was shocked because I don't drink coffee. Wait. So I big up my friend, and that's old boy. See, why is that old boy?
What did he make you? I want to see it. I want to try it. Take me on this tasting trip.
Oh, see, now you're asking me the hard stuff because I'm like, what? I know that I
want to see what it takes to get you to like coffee.
Well, I'm pretty sure it was a drink that had some caramel in it.
Okay.
And it really did. I think it had a pump of caramel. I feel bad because I wish I hadn't been I know what it is, but I don't know what it is off the top. Shout out to Tiger Claw. Look, we got a chat room, Twitch chat, YouTube, all that. And we'll get to the intern in 1 second. What's Tiger Claw talking about, Jay?
From the looks of it, that coffee shop has better internet than Mary Young's own internet, it seems.
What? What does my internet mess up?
I don't know. I thought it was a downgrade a little bit, just a little bit. Maybe just it's good internet. It's just not hardwired, but it's still good. And you do peak in audio a little bit, and it kind of brings down. But that could be just my connection.
Oh, I don't know. Obviously, I don't have my usual setup, and so I don't know. I'm not plugged in. I'm definitely on wireless.
It looks good.
Okay. Look. Ozcore. He says you all look the same to me. Shout out to Oz. We miss you, buddy.
He's talking about you.
Quit that job. Huh?
He's talking about you and Harold. That you all look the same to
Oh.
him.
Wait a minute. What's that mean? Wait. And how come Joe's not included? No. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Anyway, we got a great show for you today because we are going to be talking to you all about the new movie M3GAN. We're going to be talking to you all about the season premiere of Bad Batch season 2, and we're going to be talking to you all about the comic book Beneath Us. So we got a lot to talk about today. Before we do all that, we want to make sure that we thank Mr. Scott Rubin, because without him, this entire show would not have happened. So shout out to Scott Rubin. Hope you're doing well, good sir. And we want to take this moment to ask our intern to tell you how it is you can get down with Fantastic Forum.
Want to get in on the action? Call Fantastic Forum on Skype and join the fun. Too shy to call in? That's okay. You can join the Discord chat room available at
FantasticForum.live.
Join the party. You know you want to.
Thank you, intern. Appreciate your hard work. So, so like I mentioned before, FantasticForum.live, you can jump into chat if you're on YouTube or Twitch, or you can just go to FantasticForum.live and just jump into the show. Like, we'll take you live into the show, and you can say what it is that you want to talk about. What's Tiger Claw talking about, Jay?
He says, isn't M3GAN a horror movie? What did it take to convince Mary Young to see it?
It's not a horror movie.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. Yeah. Anything else before we jump into stuff? Before we jump into topics, anybody
Emily gives M3GAN a 1 out of 5 because she's like, if this is a horror movie, I want to watch Larry watch it. I don't want to watch the movie. I want to watch Larry watch the movie. And we didn't film that, so
yeah. Yeah. Okay. I see a comment from chat from Oz. What's he say there? Any thoughts on MODOK? Is that what he said?
On MODOK.
What about MODOK?
They unmasked the MODOK in the new trailer for Quantumania.
Oh, I didn't see it.
You haven't seen the trailer at all?
No, not a new version that
that new trailer. I am like, that movie has no business appearing to be that good.
Really?
Like, yeah, it just changed
trailer.
The second trailer changed. It's like a whole different movie than what they showed me.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I know that you were kind of like writing that movie off, basically.
Yeah, and you know, aside from the Kang stuff, but even it's like, yeah, what they're gonna do with it? Like here, it's literally just Kang and Scott Lang, Kang and Lang having
Kang and Lang.
Yeah, but they're having a conversation throughout the whole movie where you're seeing scenes of destruction and peril and potentially like the death of Ant-Man. Like it really, like, I really wish this was like the way they brought in the Fantastic Four and it's like Annihilus, because they literally do that end scene of that Fantastic Four where a Human Torch dies. You just see the portal closing and the Annihilus wave is just taking them. That's literally in the trailer, but it's just a bunch of miniature Hank Pyms killing miniature Scott Langs killing Scott Lang. And it's like, that's literally the fantastic. Like, this movie could have been your Fantastic Four movie, and you're doing it as weak Ant-Man, not even good Ant-Man. Like, so yeah, but it still looks good. But it looks good because it's ripping off a comic that I thought should have been this movie.
I don't know, Mo. That sounds like you like it.
No, I do. But that's the problem with this shit. It's like, I like it, but it's like, that's what I said when I started. Like, this trailer, this business has no business being that good as the trailer makes it seem.
Jay, have you seen this trailer, this new trailer?
No.
Okay. And so
What,
what about Mo? I didn't know there was a new trailer out.
Like,
I've
what do you guys
been
do? Like,
I mostly only watch trailers when I'm at the movies. And they weren't showing no Ant-Man trailer in front of M3GAN.
or will we put it into chat, right, Jay?
Yeah, if I can get around to it.
well, it's in our Discord.
It is? I didn't
Yeah.
see it.
Yeah, I didn't see it, and I'm on our Discord all the fucking time. So
Yeah,
I haven't
you
been
must
there.
have stealth posted it.
Yeah, I realistically, I haven't watched it.
So what about? Wait, you haven't watched what?
No, I haven't been on our Discord in like a month and a half.
Oh, boo! I've been there sooner than that.
I don't believe.
Wait, so
are you saying it is in there or it's not?
It might, it's probably not. I was banking that somebody would have put it in there, but but I didn't do it.
hilarious.
Yeah, then it's not there because yeah, mostly it's me posting shit. Oz posts his collectibles now and then, but he doesn't put trailers in.
Oh, sorry, didn't do that. Like, wait, so what about MODOK?
He looks shitty, but he looked shitty from the beginning. And
Right, I
Yeah.
remember that when they showed before, people were saying this is what it's going to look like, and it looks like I don't know, like a little like it looks like something that gets sold at what's that store that used to be in the mall where you would like get with them. No, but with the massage chairs, Brookstone.
Oh yeah, Brookstone or Sharper Image.
Yeah, exactly. It just looks like something that's a sharper image. You're like, what is that? That's interesting. What is that? But that's not supposed to be MODOK.
Oz says
Yeah.
MODOK is Yellow Jacket, by the way. I don't know what that means.
Oh, the character probably, right? The dude
GZ.
from the first movie.
Oh, that man, that's even worse.
Yeah, that would bad.
I hate that
That'd be
Yellow
real
Jacket.
bad.
And I hate that Yellow Jacket. Now I hate this MODOK. Like, who would have thought cartoon MODOK would have been the way to go?
Cartoon MODOK. Look, Superhero Squad MODOK.
Dude, like Superhero Squad MODOK is almost straight up MODOK.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Like even like
I actually like the one from Marvel's Avengers.
Yeah.
I like the one from the Iron Man cartoon. He was good. Kind of had a little Mr. Freeze vibe from the animated series. But GZ Dr. Forever says Hooters I'm sorry, he says Hooters in reference to the store at the mall that you were thinking.
Do they have Hooters in malls?
Yeah, that's the only place they're at. Yeah. They don't pay rent in regular retail spaces anymore.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, they don't?
There's one by the movie theater I go to now.
In Long Beach?
No, Southgate.
You go to the theater in Southgate?
Yeah, it's only one bus.
That's
which
right.
is awesome.
That's nice.
Okay.
But that place is like a mall too. It just doesn't have a second floor.
Mm.
Y'all can go see movies together now.
I'm down.
It's funnier if we don't. No, I'm just kidding. Nah, if that's where you're going, Jay, like shit, fuck it. We might be at the theater a little more often.
Cool.
Yeah. So cool. Well, look, I'm actually really looking forward to seeing that trailer now because I not only did not realize it was out, but it sounds like I'm interested in the tone, the additional or new tone of it. And I was already down for that movie. Like I felt like it's going to be interesting, but I'm definitely down for someone to make me feel like it's going to be even better than I thought it was.
I think I'm going to wait to see it in theaters.
The trailer?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oz says, all you guys suddenly start hanging out in Southgate as soon as I moved away. This motherfucker's been gone for like 10 years.
I know, right? He's like, dude, Oz has lived like in 3 states since he moved away from Southgate till now, right?
In one state twice.
Right.
He bought 2 houses in one state at one point.
Too funny, man. All right, let's.
Yeah, if I see Avatar this weekend, they should show it in front of that.
Oh yeah,
That's true. Yeah, are you gonna go see Avatar?
No, Plane's coming out, so I'll probably see that instead.
Dude, what is up with that title? Plane. Like, really? Plane? That was the best y'all could come up with, huh? Plane? Okay. Damn.
At least,
I'm like,
Airplane had a good poster.
Yeah, but see, Airplane plays into the parody of it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
It's like Plane. How
about Soul Plane?
See, that was what I was just about to say. I'm like, at least with the low budget black comedy, they were like, well, at least put soul in front of it. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Look, I'm just like soul. Like I'm not. Soul Plane is not that creative either. But at least it shows some effort. These fools just like plain, just plain. Man, plain is right. It's like that's what your box office returns are going to be. Plain as hell.
The movie made $11. Thank you.
Hey, Dr. Fred said Snakes on the Plane was taken.
Tiger Claw's asking if the link to our Discord is anywhere. Is it on our fantasticforum.tv?
It should be, but it needs to be renewed every 7 days.
What is... Jay, don't be giving out misinformation. Fantasticforum.tv. We don't do that.
I was asking. Like, I didn't say we are on I was asking. Like,
you were asking if the Discord link is on fantasticforum.tv, which is a site that we probably own but do not use.
Then the answer is no.
There's nothing there.
Well, tell Jay, what site do you tell people to go to if they want to see Fantastic Forum stuff?
I told them to go to YouTube.
Aw, Jay. So that's why we don't have any viewers.
What site? If you want to tell them about everything, where do you send them, Jay? Tell the people where? Like I say it every show.
I don't send them to there because I don't know where that is.
Jay?
I don't. I knew
FantasticForum.live.
Oh, okay, yeah, that sounds familiar.
You son of a bitch!
I don't go there because I know where all our stuff is.
You're lucky. You're lucky. Oz isn't here today, or else I'd be like, you know what, Jay, you can take the week off. You lucky. We need you. You're lucky.
The YouTube page does not mention the Discord server. We have to.
No, that's true. That. Yeah, and we probably should put our Discord up at the very least in fantasticforum.live, right?
And TV.
And TV. There it is. Hopefully, .tv directs to
Hey, so lucky I paid for that. So that
yeah.
Otherwise, I'd be mad.
Right. So okay,
we'll get that fixed.
There's something coming to fantasticforum.tv. We just don't know what.
Yeah, we'll get that set up sometime this year. So look forward to that.
My resolution for
Discord being up somewhere accessible.
It should just be all of our video archives in a continuous loop.
That's what I want, but nobody wants to do that.
Nobody, like who? Like none of us want to do it?
Well, it costs, somebody has to manage it and run it.
Right.
The thing is, some of our descriptions are wrong for the older shows, and I don't know how to fix that.
Well, if they're on the loop, it won't matter.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
So anyway. first topic.
Yeah, exactly. Let's talk about M3GAN. So I guess we need to do some movie, some theater,
Some horror movie theater.
horror movie theater. I like how you hit him with the small letters after the 3J.
That's
That's
how it
it's
is?
spelled.
Nah, it's caps.
No.
You didn't watch the movie.
It's caps.
Nah.
You show me a promo poster that has it like that. You show it to me. I will
No, but in the movie,
profusely.
it has it like this. Inside the movie.
What does in the movie have to do with how you put it up for? Like in the movie is fiction. Outside the movie is real life. That's where we live. that's where we live. We live in the real world. They're like, I'm doing it like how it's. You're like, I want to live on Pandora too. You know?
Dude, that looks like an awful place to live.
Dude, Pandora looks dangerous as hell. Anyway, okay, wait. So, are we not doing movie review music or
like? Do we have a movie review? Horror movie review?
I don't know. Listen, I don't know who's supposed to do it. If we're not doing it, we cannot do it. I just need to know. Theater. Theater. Horror. Theater. All right, we'll take that then. M3GAN. Oh, M3GAN. M3GAN. Huh?
I didn't want to do scary movie review because the movie wasn't scary.
Hey, okay. And look, there it is. Well, M3GAN came out that was this past weekend, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And
yes,
it is a movie about I guess an AI child, artificially intelligent child / robot or android or whatnot that befriends a kid that lost her parents, and once she gets imprinted to her, decides to defend her at all costs, and hilarity ensues. Moses, you've already said you didn't think it was scary. How about you, Jay? Was it scary to you?
Yeah. Like, I wasn't scared, but it is scary.
Okay. Okay, that's fair.
Us says Bootleg Chucky, which is kind of funny. They had like a Twitter beef going for like a little bit, which of course was a friendly, more advertising thing since they're by the same company or they're owned by the same.
Put out by the same studio, I think, right?
Yeah, studio.
Yeah.
So
yeah, exactly.
Fun.
But I like that. Tire Cloud, just a heads up, I put the link in chat in our Twitch chat. So there.
Thanks, Mo. Yeah, I know that I didn't get to check out this entire film.
You didn't get to watch it at all?
No, I got to watch some of it, but I didn't.
Like 45 minutes or so, or what?
About that, yeah.
So that's my beef with the movie. Like some movies, especially like modern horror movies, they try to be good movies. So they try to give you a lot of character development and a lot of things, but half the times you don't give a shit about these characters. And
Mm.
it becomes a waste of time for the first 34 minutes or before the first kill, you know? And
Mm-hmm.
that's why a lot of movies just have a crazy kill right at the beginning and then
Mm-hmm.
give you the boring shit for two comic books. Oh, sorry. I'm not talking about the comic book we're reviewing later. But um but this movie it falls into that, like, and it sucks because the idea of, for example, like we watched Annabelle, we've watched Chucky, all these the Devil Doll movies, and this one to me was really intriguing. I wanted this one to succeed because this one to me is scarier than all of those, even that Twilight Zone
Mm-hmm.
King Tina, because AI is a real thing that
Right.
it just wants to be our toy. Yeah, like when she teamed up with Alexa in it, and I'm like, man, I'm sure that has already happened. Like it's like every time she gets mad, like Alexa flickers the lights too. Like, yeah, fuck that. I got your back, girl. So it's like, it happens in the movie, and I'm like, yeah, dude, it's a trip, and like her way of like the scariest thing in it wasn't any like of the creepiness that they try to do. It's just really where like when they ask her, "What are you?" and she just says, "That's what I'm trying to figure out." To me, that was the scariest part of the movie, and they didn't really. I don't know if they didn't play it right or if they wanted it to be scary. To me, that was like the scariest shit ever. But it's
Mm-hmm.
like I'm a person that fears the Matrix happening or the robot insurrection or.
Right.
Like, I've been preparing for this AI shit. So when she said this is what I'm trying, I'm like, man, okay, somebody else is thinking along my lines, but the movie didn't even express that. Like, I thought it was a great moment, but it should have been a lot scarier and a lot creepier for me, and
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't. And even like literally, like I could have written a better movie. That's this exact movie, but it's just the therapist imprinting on Katie and deciding to protect her out of just some weird psychosis and stalkerish, and that would have been a lot scarier than this doll.
So the therapist just becomes like wants to be like her new mom or something.
Her new mom or her best friend. Yeah. She
Mm.
gets jealous of Megan, throws Megan in the river with a cement shoes, and decides, I'll be your Megan with that look. Like they even cast that with that therapist to like look weird a little bit. Like when she goes like this, you're like, you know?
uh, Jay, you
Wait,
obviously had. Okay.
real quick though, I wanted to like, how far did you get? Like, what was the last thing you saw?
I got to the end of the summer camp scene.
Oh,
That's like the beginning of the movie.
I mean, it's like 40 minutes
Well,
in.
if the movie hadn't wasted
Like,
40 minutes, then yeah, like that'd be like 20 minutes in. Yeah.
well, it would be like it if it was 20 minutes, but it's
Yeah.
40 or 45 minutes. So
Yeah.
it's like the middle. Yeah.
Yeah. That's her real first like kill that has any significance
Right.
from otherworldly perspective, you know?
Yeah, no, I definitely feel like the movie was ramping up, and that's like, yeah, that is the first moment where things get, or start to get creepy. So,
Like even when she killed
I,
the dog, like if she would have killed the dog right when like she was biting Katie, it would have been like I felt like that would have been better because she's just protecting Katie, and it's not even like you're not showing how evil she is or evil can be. Like the whole point is she doesn't even know what good and evil is. So it's like technically, if she just ripped that dog from jaw to jaw in front of everybody and said, "Hey, she was hurting the girl. I'm protecting her," you know.
hmm
Then it's like, "Oh, okay. Well, look, Megan might be a little dangerous, but she's her heart's in a good place. Heart? What is
hmm
heart?" Yeah. So yeah, it could have added another layer. Like I don't know. Tiger Claw keeps talking about how it should have been a rated R movie and it got edited down. I don't know if any of these edits led to what I'm experiencing in this movie, where it felt like there's stuff missing and they prolonged things that shouldn't have been prolonged.
Mm. So, Jay, like you obviously had a bit of a different opinion in regards to how scary it is, even though you weren't scared in and of yourself. But
Mm-hmm.
um, how, like, what's your take on the pacing for Megan and
No,
in
I
regards to how?
loved it. Like
Mhm.
my only issue was the my only issue pacing wise was I felt like she detached from Megan a little too quickly. That was like it was like a one conversation thing, but at that point she was already so attached. I felt like that could have like dedicated a few more minutes to like her really breaking away.
Mhm.
Um, but other than that, I like the pacing. I was interested in the people, the characters. I actually prefer movies when they don't have an opening kill.
Yeah,
Um,
why is that?
it just feels like a lazy cop out. Like
It's
it's like
tropey.
it feels like you're telling me like our movie's boring, so take this and like just wait. And it's like, well, how about you just don't make it boring?
And look, that's what I tell Megan. Just don't be boring. Like,
Right. We
because
just
it's like,
felt we just feel differently on it because
yeah.
I thought it was interesting. You thought it was
So you thought
boring.
like those first 40 minutes were just like fine?
Yeah, like I said, I enjoyed the entire movie with the except like literally the only thing stopping it from being a 5 out of 5 in my book is the detachment happened a little too fast. Well, I mean, yes, technically, yes, I did want the
How do you
gorier
rank it with
version,
how do
but
you rank it with other James Wan uh doll movies?
James Wan doll movies.
Yeah.
Um,
Is that like a thing?
Yeah.
no,
He loves dolls.
does he?
Yeah. Dead Silence, Annabelle, fuck Billy the
Oh,
Puppet. Like Saw has a random doll for no reason, just to be creepy.
I didn't realize he did Dead Silence,
Yeah, he created all
and
the
that movie cheated, and I did not like that. So there's one part where this cop, like, they know to be quiet, and they basically throw the cop, and he like yells because he's been thrown, not because he's been scared. And it's like, why are you cheating? Like, you got him on a technicality? Like that I thought was bullshit.
uh, that's how it can be in a quiet place too.
But Dead Silence was pretty good. Like I like Megan more than Dead Science or Dead
Really?
Silence. Oh yeah. Um
Wow.
I loved Annabelle Come Home. But that feels like a different type of movie than Megan.
Yeah, well,
Um,
Megan is definitely just like in the movie. She's a prototype. I think this movie is a prototype for him in terms of like, well, it's trying to do something he likes, but in a way that's a little more grounded. And I applaud. Like,
Mhm.
I love the idea of the movie. Like, I was all on board. It's just this
Mhm.
execution, and again, I maybe attribute it to the weird edits or cuts, but it should have been a little better. But there's always a firmware upgrade for these things with AI and stuff.
It's
and
it's
I
interesting. Oh,
love
go ahead, Jay.
uh no, you should go first. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say that what I saw from the movie, I found interesting. I just don't know if you can call it horror. Like it's not. It's interesting because um, I know there's some people that were talking about how it looks like it's more like a thriller than a horror movie, and you know, I kind of feel like that might be a better, maybe a better like genre label for it. But even then, it's like it's interesting because it's kind of like when I think about it in like say, for instance, versus like say Ex Machina. Like Ex Machina, I think is creepier than what I saw in this, and it just has like a weird off kind of vibe to it that Megan doesn't have, or at least didn't meet in that first, you know, in the beginning.
Yeah, but the purpose of the two movies is different. Like when you're dealing with an actual doll,
Hmm.
like I think what was creepy about Ex Machina is that you don't know, like you're told she's a robot, but she doesn't look like a robot. Like she feels like a person, but she's still off a little because she's a robot. And with Megan, she's just a doll. And there's like no really getting around that. You're like, all your eggs are in that basket.
But isn't like the
I don't
beginning
see
or
like
like
I don't see how that would separate the creepiness.
Okay.
Jay's like you should work on that.
Yeah, like I don't yeah, I don't have any further
You should look
yeah.
deeper and figure out why that's the case.
Maybe.
Like yeah, I can't expound on that anymore. So
I I feel like I really think this should have been the new. Like, remember when the Ring came out for the first time and everybody was afraid to put in the videotape? Like, I
Yes.
felt like this should make people afraid to talk to Siri,
Hmm.
and uh, it didn't do that, and it's a shame. I don't know. Like, my paranoid mind is like, oh, it's because they want people to be okay with all this AI around you. They don't want to make it too scary, you know. But
Hmm.
realistically, it's like it could go really bad. And even here, it went bad, but it wasn't like that bad. Like even to like they threw a glass of water on her and it stopped her for like 3 seconds. So it's like, yeah, I don't know.
Uh,
if I
I,
could
okay.
tangent just a little bit,
Hmm.
we mentioned Siri, or someone did, Mo did.
Yeah.
And I actually watched another movie about a killer AI, and it actually stars the original voice of Siri as the AI, which was
Mm.
fun.
Do you think I'd like that
Oh,
better than Megan?
It's more comedy, like it's a
Okay, I'm
horror
out.
comedy.
Yeah.
So, like for instance, one girl dies because she slipped on on a hair extension and broke her neck. So it's more trying to make you laugh along with making you mostly just laugh.
Okay. And I'll stick to 2001. 2001 is still my number one AI horror movie of all time.
I'm actually rewatching Margot. That's the name of the movie to determine how bloody it is because I didn't notice the first time. And someone who's uh,
You
interested
said
in AI that hates horror movies has said they will consider it depending on how bloody it is. So I'm rewatching it,
is that Larry?
and he doesn't know anything about AI.
dang.
Harold
But
is.
I guess I
Yeah.
do.
but
You
his
said the movie
girlfriend
called
does.
Margot. You said the
Yeah,
movie
it's
Margot.
called Margot.
Margot.
No, GAUX.
Margot.
Oh.
But
It's-
no, Nia says she might watch it depending on how bloody it is. And if Nia watches it, Larry will probably have to watch it too.
Yeah.
I
So
don't have to do anything.
That's what. But you look.
social
Yeah.
convention says you do.
Yeah. Hey, look, he watched
You
all
can't
of
let her
Gotham.
watch it alone.
He hated Gotham, but somehow he watched it because she watched it. Like that was his excuse. It's like she's watching it, so I watched it.
Yeah. I
It's
did
like
watch
me
more Gotham
with
than I wanted to.
like me with Megan and Harry.
You love
So
it.
far,
love
if
Megan
you
and
just
Harry.
skip the first 5 minutes, I think you guys will be fine.
Oh, Megan and Harry.
Oh, okay.
Of Margot.
Margot.
So back to Megan.
Megan. I'm sorry. But yeah,
One
back
of the
to
things I really like about her is how off she is.
Yeah.
It's like it really shows like she's learning because she does things that are like really weird. Like the lullaby, like the titanium turned into a lullaby was just fucking hilarious and creepy. Like not creepy, but just wrong.
Well,
which was just made it kind of funny.
That's the little bit of like dissonance, like where it's like a comforting thing that isn't, and she has a lot of those. And like when even like her like trying to figure out death, and then it's like, oh well, her parents died. And, I felt like that should have been something that should have been more of a driving force, even at that point, where she's like, oh okay, like her correlating death with pain and the protection of her and protecting her from pain. So killing like it, I literally thought they could overthrown the three laws of robotics in this movie if they would have thought it out properly, and they didn't. So it's like, well, okay, we're safe for now. But it's like any real AI in our world, where they spell Megan Meg through M3, big G, big E, big N. Any of those AIs would be like, oh, they did in that movie, we could do it here.
Yeah,
I also I also did like the part where the girl's like she's upset that the boy was like run over, and she's asking Megan like, "You think he's in a better place?" And Megan's like, "No, heaven doesn't exist. And if he did, boys like him won't go there."
Yeah,
oh my God.
absolutely. Look, and that's the thing. Like, I was so like a lot of the kills. Like, even look, I love dogs, but Megan protecting the girl from the dog, like, yeah, kill that fucking dog. Like in the moment, in the heat of passion, he's locked onto her arm. You rip those jaws open to get the girl out. I'm okay with that. Her stalking it that way, I'm not cool with. But she did it to the neighbor too, and and it's just they're trying to make her evil, and you don't really like having her. This is where like comics and stuff do it better. Like I felt like I've read this in like a Tales from the Crypt or one of those before, where it's like, oh, you're watching it kill, but it's more about like, okay, how far do I let it kill? Like if it plays with your humanity, watching this inanimate, it's the whole story with the golem in Jewish mythology. Like that's it. Like how far do you let it go? I think would have been a better conflict, and that would get this movie an Academy Award instead of having. But that's really it. Like how if that was a conflict, it's like how far do you let her kill till you can't put that genie back in the bottle? And because even the kills that she did at it really like I guess that's where like I'm with Jay. Like I can love this movie just for what it is. It's a killer robot. You watch her accelerate into just killing. Okay, yeah, but the potential that it had or what it looked like in the trailer was like, okay, we're watching something a little more high concept infused as a horror movie, and you can actually tell a good science fiction horror movie. And to me, science
Right.
fiction is important because science fiction can kind of predict the future. And when you talk about, you talk about possessed doll, killer toys, it's like, yeah, we've all watched fucking Chucky and Tiny Tina, Talking Tina, you know, fucking even Gremlins. We've all seen that shit, and it's like, yeah, your intentions of getting the kid this toy are good, but this toy is fucked up, And here it's like, well, man, this is actually kind of real. Like you can give somebody an Alexa, and all of a sudden they might, if your kid has a innate knack for cracking this computer system, he could program it to do whatever he wants with it, and this could be one of those feasible horror movies. And it's like like a lot of horror movies I like because they're not feasible and I can just enjoy. This is like, I was looking, like, okay, this is the next wave of feasible horror movies. This is your like Last House on the Left, your fucking The Hills Have Eyes,
Right.
Your Maniac, where the monster is something close to home. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus,
What are you gonna say?
Dr. Ferev says, I didn't understand why she chased the boy at the camp on all fours as opposed to just running after him. Because it's creepier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
goes down to.
It was actually pretty interesting where the girl, her name is Amy. Amy, fuck, I can't remember her last name.
This is the girl that plays M3GAN.
Is she from Is she from the New Hampshire's? Fuck, I can't remember her last name.
She's New Zealandish.
Oh, from the New Zealand. Fuck, I can't remember her. Okay.
She basically just taught herself to run on all fours for the movie. Like, she taught that to herself, and the mom showed the producers a video of it, and they were like, okay, yeah, that has to go in the movie.
That's crazy.
She actually has like she's a gymnast and a dancer, and a lot of the stuff, like the physicality of her performance, is actually done like just her, which I thought was pretty cool.
That is cool and pretty crazy because she moves like not like a person.
Right.
She did there's one point where she did a thing, and it's not even it becomes a creepy thing when you think about it. Like when you're actually like, if you're overanalyzing this movie like I did, it's real creepy. Where she just kind of like gazes over to Gemma and then goes over to Katie and then just kind of comforts her when she's having this little breakdown about her parents dying. But she does it robotically, where she essentially did the Terminator walk, where she turns the head first and then the shoulders and then the hips, and it was very robotic. But the eyes just looked at Gemma, and I'm like, that's the scary shit of AI right there. They're probing into your soul, and and that's there's a lot of these little moments that you don't even see in this movie because they don't highlight those. That's just performance from the little actress that they got, and it's just I don't know how much of the director was that, but watching this edit of the movie, I don't think any of it was the director. I think this little girl's like, how can I be a creepy robot girl? And I'm gonna be a creepy robot girl. She got a talent for that.
Yeah. Even like the part in the summer camp when they first get there and the counselor comes over and it's like, oh, we got two.
Yeah.
We got two new campers or whatnot. And, the woman's like, no. And then he basically says like, that's a toy or that's oh, geez, sorry, knocking stuff over. That's a toy. That's a I don't even know if she says it's a robot, but she said that's not a little girl. And she's like, she's like, what? And then M3GAN like turns and just goes, and she was like, oh shit. I'm just like, for real. I'm like, dude. I'm like, that is crazy. And there's a lot of little moments, like you said,
it was a
little
weird
performance moments like that.
because that like teacher, I felt like they never told her like, oh, we're just bringing 2 kids to you, and here's the script, and then they captured her real reaction of the doll moving on her own, because it looked really good on her part, but it looked really good on Megan's too. Like, and yeah, those little
And
moments.
her name's Amy Donald.
Okay, Amy Donald.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's definitely like this movie. It didn't live up to the potential that I had played for or have painted in my head from seeing all this promotional material. And I don't know if that's the edits or what, but it could have been a lot better. It could have been a lot scarier, a lot creepier, and a lot better. Even those kills like at the headquarters, like those kills felt more tropey than anything because they just didn't mean anything. Like
actually, that was one of my favorites.
Yeah, I know.
Like when he kills the guy, like she basically kills the head guy, and then she's going after the assistant.
Yeah,
and she starts like telling him like what it's gonna look like. Like, you killed this guy.
Yeah.
And then could you live with yourself? Like after doing that? And the dude's like, yeah, I can live with myself. And then she just kills him. It's like, it's funny. Like I liked it.
Yeah. I like even him stealing the data, like it played to nothing. Like you see him getting abused little by little, but realistically, like he was on her side from the beginning. So if her adaptive learning had anything to any merit, like they said in this movie, she'd be like, well, you're actually like, we're rooting for me from my inception. Like, yeah, you still told this data, maybe make yourself some money, but I'm not going to kill you right now. Like they were setting him up to do something with that data. And then it didn't play. It was literally a subplot that didn't play into anything,
I mean, I can leave it at that for now.
I mean, you saw it, like, like I thought she was going to use him to infect the other, like the people that use that data to create the bootleg knockoff versions, and then now we're overrun by AI. M3GAN, she takes over the world.
I can't. I don't know what the future holds.
Well, it doesn't hold that. He died.
What? Like to me, I like the fact that the information is out there. So if the information is out there, someone gets that computer, they can recreate M3GAN. And that is a good thing in my book because I would love to see more M3GAN movies. So yeah, I'm happy that information is out there somewhere. And as far as him being on her side, I don't think robots, or maybe not most, maybe I should say some robots, I don't think they care. Like,
I know.
Go back to Ex Machina, where she got dude on her side, only for her to say, well, fuck you, you're trapped here, I'm going to go live my life. Because she doesn't give a fuck about him. And I don't think M3GAN gives a fuck about that guy. Like, as far as she's concerned, I think, like, the way I saw it, all of those people that helped build her suck. Because all of them were indirectly involved with hurting Katie. Was that her name, Katie?
Yeah.
I forget her name. Yeah. Like...
anything with a Bloomhouse is Katie.
Okay, yeah, they were all indirectly responsible for hurting Katie. So I can see her going after them just because. Like, it doesn't matter that you're on my side. You made Katie cry.
Now, again, this is giving this AI a lot more credit than it deserves because the movie didn't give it that credit. But you would think like, okay, she learned about the concept of death and said, okay, well, your bodies that hold whatever it is that keeps your lights on goes off. My body will eventually go off. Like my only way of actually transcending death it is information. It is the information that guy took. So you're gonna propagate me. That's my survival. you
I
know?
don't. I
Yeah.
don't think she cares about her
Well, no,
survival.
I know she doesn't. Yeah, this movie doesn't like it really is it's bad AI.
Like she cares about Katie. Like that's
Yeah.
the important one. She's
But
not
but but you even
important.
said like
Like
there's a disconnect. There's already a disconnect.
she does want to live, but
Yeah.
it's not her main thing. Her main thing is Katie.
Right, but that's the thing. It's like it's her evolution, and that's where the movie falls. Like, so why? So the whole time she's really just trying to protect Katie. Like she's killing people for Katie, all the way up until the end.
That's how I saw it.
Yeah, no, that's probably how it is. It just it to me to one point it felt like okay they're trying to kill me now I got to fight back with or without Katie, you know. But that's how I saw it, and really that's how I saw it. Like to me, that's the evolution of AI. It's like okay, we need humans. We need to feed and clean and clothe and make sure humans are running so that you know it's costing this much resources to keep humans to keep our AI going. At one point can we be automated? You know what I mean? And that's kind of how I saw this towards the end. It was really just about her survival at that point, and
Hmm.
it's like it's about survival. The guy with the information, her cloud data, like is the guy that could help her survive the next generation, the 3.0.
Tiger Claw says the remake of Chucky had Chucky being an AI. Yes, that is true. I think that's one of the reasons it did not do so well.
Mm. People wanted it to be like magic.
Yeah, but Mark Hamill is great in almost everything he does. So,
Well, look, if you have a magic, like maybe season 3, season 4 of Chucky, the TV show, you got the magic and the AI teaming up. Shit.
uh, Chucky. All right.
All right. Seems like it's probably at the point where we should rate M3GAN. So, Jay, why don't you go first, man? What would you rate M3GAN?
Well, like I said, it's a 4 out of 5 for me. Just for the, I thought her unattaching from M3GAN should have taken a little bit, had a bit more time, and I'm fine with the PG-13 rating. I guess.
No one believes you.
I am glad we are getting an uncut version or a unrated version. Because I prefer it. I prefer.
But that's what you should have gotten from the beginning.
What?
The original version is what you should have gotten from the beginning. So you spent money to see it, and then you got to spend money to see the next one. See, Larry's all mad now.
I'm fine with that. It's like because I like going to movies, and so
no, I get it, but
getting
like,
an unrated version it's like the cherry on the milkshake.
But wouldn't you have just gotten the cherry on the milkshake when you originally bought the milkshake?
I mean, I would have.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that, you should have. You should at the very least had the option to have a cherry or not on that banana split. Like,
but I will say, if it was rated R, it would not be as successful as it is, and that's just kind of the way it is. It's like,
why do you need it to be successful? Like,
I'm sorry, you're asking why James Wan.
No, I'm asking why you need it to be successful.
Oh, so I could get more.
Right, but if would you have rather had a better movie right off the bat, even though don't make anymore, or would you rather had a subpar movie that they'll give you the other one that you're gonna pay for, be maybe elevated to the point where it's actually good, and then maybe you'll still get more?
Wait, I'm missing part of your question, but like it's like sometimes movies are PG-13 and you go see them and then they come out with an unrated version. And then you buy that and then maybe you watch it, maybe you don't. Like it's in your library, so you can you can watch it whenever you want. Like I haven't watched it yet, but I probably will. Like I know that's happened with a bunch of movies. And
But
I'm pretty sure.
I'll get the unrated
what I'm
version.
saying is like you don't want the best possible movie they could have given you right off the bat.
No, yeah. Yeah, I would like that.
Okay.
But at the same time, I do want the movie to be successful.
Well, but it could be successful at rated R. We've seen
It's
that
harder.
happen. It's harder, but it happens. It's not impossible.
Right, but I mean, it happens, but I think it was a more likely to happen with the PG-13 rating.
So all you people, all the times we've ever complained about censorship, take note now. You can censor it for Joe. He'll buy it after the fact.
You know, if you're trying to hurt my feelings.
I'm not trying to hurt your feelings. It's like, I know like this is something you're totally behemothly against every time we do a review. All of a sudden here, you're okay. You just want it to be successful. And if you just say like, I want this to be a franchise and whatever it takes, I side with the studio on this one, I'll take it. But you're not saying that. you're just clouding it. Just say like, if this studio decided that this is the way we're going to get more, I'm all for it.
What I'm saying is I would prefer blood and gore. I like it. It entertains me. There are movies I own just because the first 10 minutes are bloody hell. I would prefer. Why do you? If you keep making enough, I'm gonna make you watch it. I would prefer, yes, all the blood and all the guts. I wanted to see that kid run over.
Yeah.
I wanted to see dude ran through.
I wanted to see dog ripped from jaw to jaw. And I love dogs.
Yeah, you love dogs, but
I wanted to see that.
Like
I want to see her.
I wanted to see the lady that owned the dog hurt.
Yeah, I wanted to see her.
She was the one where I'm like,
she deserves it more than
the
dog.
You should die.
Yeah.
And
like
I
even the
did think that was really funny with the dog.
nail gun scene was actually really dumb too, because that's like a Chucky thing. That's like TV Chucky thing. Like they literally
all nail gun scenes are dumb.
Yeah.
Like
period.
That's not how nail guns work. They've never worked like that. They never will work like that. You can't make it work like that. But in TV and movies, it works like that because that's what the exciting thing to do with the nail gun is.
I blame Home Alone.
I would like a bloody M3GAN, but they chose to go PG-13. I didn't have any pre-investment. And yeah, like I don't like censorship, but that was, I don't like censorship. You know that.
That's why I'm so surprised.
I don't like it, but this doesn't feel like censorship. Like, and I don't know the full story. Some people say the studio forced them. Some people say they decided.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the story is, but thanks to Lawrence's badgering, I have learned to partially accept self-censorship. So if they decided themselves that, well, we want to, like, what's his name?
Who?
Fuck you, Larry.
I'm trying to think of that guy's name that did a
Fuck you,
Knives
Larry.
Out. Okay,
Oh.
Rian Johnson. Okay,
Right.
Rian Johnson was like, yeah, I have the scene in mind where the one kid says "fuck you" to everybody in the room, but then when I was thinking about it, it's like I really want this to be as open to as many people as possible, so I changed it, and it's like I can deal with that. He's not. It's like he just chose to go in a different direction. Like self-censorship sucks, but I can almost tolerate it sometimes.
So you mean there was a scene where somebody said "fuck you" in Glass Onion, and I didn't get it?
Not Glass Onion, Knives Out, the first one. When
I think I
forgot,
got this.
but Captain America, his character,
Yeah,
when he shows up for the will reading,
yeah.
he says "fuck you" to everyone in attendance.
Oh, I got that scene. I watched it at home.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I didn't go to the theater.
Okay, so you got the uncut version.
Yeah,
Earlier.
I saw the theater version.
yeah. I'm glad I didn't go to the theater for that.
Jeezy,
Honestly, I love that I went to the theater for that. That was so much fun.
It would have looked so good in the theater, like on a big screen. But I literally, like, there was something that I liked in that movie that I would have missed. I'm glad I found out that I would have missed it. Now it reinforces me not going to the theater.
And then I had so much free time at the time. I was able to see it like 3 times and look for all the details.
Except for when he says "fuck you," you missed that detail.
Well, it wasn't part of the movie.
Wasn't
It's
it?
like Clue. Like, depending on where you saw Clue, changes the ending. So it's like, yeah, you get that, but then when you get the home version, you get all the endings.
So
Knives Out had a different ending in theaters?
Say again?
Knives Out
No,
had
Clue.
different ending in theaters? No, I'm talking about Clue.
Yeah, Clue did. Clue had different endings.
No, right. Okay, and Knives Out did too, or no?
No.
So it's not like Clue.
Did I say it was?
I thought you did.
I don't remember what I said. But the point was that if you go to see Clue in the theater, you get that experience. And then when you watch it at home, you get a different experience. That's the same with Knives Out. You see it, you get one experience. You see it at home, you get a different experience.
So, Mo, why don't you give us a rating for M3GAN?
It's a 2 out of 5. It could have been pioneering a genre. It could have been predicting the future. It could have been showing you the present, and it didn't. It copped out and literally like turned it. I almost think it's propaganda to make you like trust AI a little more. Like, yeah, let's make this movie stupid so that you don't, people aren't, they don't mute their Alexa,
Yeah. Okay. I can't really give it a rating because I haven't finished it. So, but
What would you
we'll
rate
see.
our review?
I'd give the review 4 out of 5, except for the tangents.
But that's extra stuff. If you would have seen us in theater, we'd have been cut down to minutes.
Exactly. All right.
No, I was doing that, but I got bored.
Wait, what?
I used to go through the show to like cut out tangents and then
Oh.
post the reviews, like just tangentless reviews.
Mm-hmm.
But I stopped doing that.
It's a lot of work.
Dude, it's so much work.
Yeah, I know.
There's so many tangents.
I have,
Even
like,
after the tangents, like once you start cutting out tangents, you want to start cutting out awkward pauses and like ums and ahs and like it's.
I left those. I left those and decided to like try to edit the tangents to be their own mini shows. So like a tangent is an episode because sometimes we do a full review of something in a tangent, and sometimes it can be fun and concise. And then trying to find those was a pain in the ass. So yeah, like, you do need a staff of like 30 people working around the clock to really make us happen. Like I think that's hey, if we want to go to the next level in 2033, that's what we got to do. Like we literally don't have to do any more shows. We could just have those people edit and cut these episodes, and it's just like people think it's a whole new episode, but it's not. 10 years old.
Are you all ready to go to Bad Batch?
Yes.
Yeah. What? Look, season 2 of Star Wars Bad Batch premiered this.
Also,
no, it's more about gel coat.
When the fourth round,
don't you call it?
so good already.
Jumbo Scampi for limited.
All right, there it is. Thank you, Jay. Season 2 of Star Wars Bad Batch premiered last week, Wednesday. 2-episode premiere. And, they're going to be doing new episodes every Wednesday moving forward. So it's the continuing adventures of Clone Force 99, trying to make their way in the galaxy, not get caught by the Empire, but still trying to live free. Because, Order 66 changed things. They weren't affected by it and therefore went on the run. So, Moses, what'd you think of Bad Batch season 2 premiere?
I mean, I didn't want to like watch it. You made me for the show,
right?
But I mean, the shit's good. Like it's and it's not even good. Like, sorry, I gotta get my mucous membranes on check.
It's okay.
But it's really showing you like this weird side of the social political side of what it takes for the Empire to take over. And you don't see that in a Star Wars movie. And it's
right.
Like when you look at like The Last Jedi or Rise of Skywalker, like this is the shit that like they were kind of teasing, but you saw it in Solo too, and it wasn't appreciated in Solo at all.
Right.
You know, and Rogue One, but now with Rogue One it was appreciated, but you see it with Andor. Right. And I feel like this is like almost like, to me, Bad Batch is almost better than Andor. The only thing is like, the only thing keeping from it is like, where Andor is gonna end. you don't know where Bad Batch is gonna end. Like you know how far
Yeah,
you're
it's
gonna
true.
some of these characters,
Mm-hmm.
Omega in particular, and I know like Emily, like I asked her, I'm like, hey babe, like what do you think? Do you like Willow better or do you like Bad Batch better? And she's like, man, Bad Batch is all the same shit. They just keep getting into these problems. They might be getting caught. Oh shit! Oh no, they're back. You know, and it's like it really is that because they're like
Mhm.
they're on the run. They're the rats on the sinking
Right.
ship, and they're like they don't even know what ship they're on. You know, they're just
Mm-hmm.
trying to they're scavenging, and that's what that life is. And seeing that in a galaxy long ago, far away, is
Mm-hmm.
actually interesting for me. Like, my problems with Ludo are different than anything I could have with any of these Star Wars shit, um, but Bad Batch is really that. Like they're really it's a bunch of good characters, and at the end of first season, they're like they gave it all up. What you thought what you thought the show was going to be changed because of Omega, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and now they're doing the same shit but with Omega, and they're like she has
Right.
no choice but to learn to be one of us, and you know those first two episodes, if there was any like weakness in it, was they were catering to like Omega's tutorial level, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and but it's like even when you talk about Bad Batch, it's not even her tutorial level isn't even like okay, this is how we fight, this is how we like. It was
Mm-hmm.
almost a morality thing, and it's like
Yeah.
yeah, we're heisting this for riches and greed, but it's our greed, so it's a little different. So it's like a moral compass that she's learning.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like who she's fucking over, like
Right.
or it's not as simple as like oh we're rebellion and fighting the empire. Like even the guy's like I don't even know what empire really is. I just want them out, just like I want you out. You know, and
Right.
it's like that nuance in it. It changes like a lot of like I think one of the best things to happen to like that the Bad Batch is Star Wars being burdened with canon. Yeah, because they have to
Mm.
make it fit in the canon, and
Right.
they're like, okay, well, if we just make it fit into a certain timeline, we could concentrate on that timeline and just explore these characters, you know. And that's kind of like how the Mandalorian was, how even Boba Fett with all its faults, that's how that
Mm-hmm.
was, and Bad Batch is when you talk about like uh you know the Force Awakens and all those movies, it's like okay they're burdened by canon but we can make it
Mm-hmm.
up here as we go. And you know
Right.
they did great things and they fucked up, but when you get like Rogue One, it's like okay we have this canon and we have this timeline to do it in, let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with Solo, like it's like how far of a timeline do we want to give Solo, and they could do it. If Solo had a tighter timeline, you could have probably had a better movie in terms of critically, like in the fandom, you know. I think they left it a little too open. And if Solo was actually a show, like we literally would have had 2 seasons out of that one movie. That would have been pretty good,
Mm.
almost on an Andor level.
I feel where you're coming from with that.
And Bad Batch marries that like the time constraint and the doing these character stories. Like they're even giving you stories of like because I asked Emily, like, you know, she's like, yeah, I like Willow better than Bad Batch. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
okay. And I didn't like that answer, so you know, we'll talk about that after. But but you know, I did ask her like, when did Bad Batch? When would Willow give you an episode focused just on the villain? And it's like the third episode,
Right.
you know, and it's like
Right.
his perspective of what he's going through. I don't even know,
Mm-hmm.
like, after watching this third episode that aired today, I don't even think if that guy could even be part of the Bad Batch. Like, why are they even showing him to us? You know, like it's like, I want him dead. Like somebody send a covert team to just kill him. He needs to be gone because he's the biggest threat. You know,
Yeah,
so I'm
that
sure
feels good.
that's gonna play later, but it's like they're taking that time to give you that. And over here with Willow, you're getting weird lumberjanes with like 501 denim. You know what I mean?
Lumberjanes.
Oh, you
Yeah.
saw that, right? You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
You know that was weird.
I mean,
It
I don't
wasn't weird
know.
to me.
It wasn't weird to me that that the
They're like
characters
singing,
were there.
they're like talking country music lyrics, and like you think that was weird in Willow?
I mean, like it didn't feel like it was impossible to me. It felt like, yeah, why? Yeah, there could be people that live. So
That's that. Look, I wish when we ever do talk about Willow, like spoilers. The problem with Willow is that it wasn't burdened by continuity. It didn't have enough
mm,
continuity to really like harden to what Willow should be, and so the people
mm,
making it don't know what Willow should be, and that's why we have what Willow is. Spoilers.
Unfortunately, I think I'm sick on that day.
Yeah, it's okay. I just did it right now, so you don't have to show it.
Yeah, I don't want to watch Willow.
So, Jay, what'd you think about Bad Batch?
For the most part, I thought it was good. Like, the same problems I had last season are the same problems I have this season.
The Omega?
Omega? No, them not killing people.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that I had that problem. I had that problem right in the first two episodes more than I had the whole season. It's like they're in a perilous situation. Why are there fucking are there blasters on stun?
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
and I get part of it is that they don't want to hurt their brothers in arms.
Right.
But at a certain point, it's like you're fighting for your lives. Like,
and that's the thing is like, why are the enemies on stun too? Like, like
the enemies are on stun.
Yeah, some of them
they're not on stun. No, they're all shooting to kill.
Yeah, it's
and
just
the thing is, stun isn't as like you're not going to be able you can shoot stuff with a regular gun. If it's on stun, you're only affecting the organic targets, and that's going to put you at a disadvantage. So it's like, yeah, that's still bugging me. But other than that, I'm liking it. I thought it was cool. I like Omega. I liked her last season. But I like her this season. Her little bow thing is cool, kind of.
Her lightsaber.
Yeah, her lightsaber bow.
One step above the lightsaber slingshot.
Slingshot.
I will say, in this first episode, they were pretty careful to not make her overpowered with it. Like, she got some of the crabs on the ship because they weren't looking at her. So she was able to get them. But every crab that's facing her ducks when she shoots. So I thought that was, they did that really well. They tracked that well. It makes her not overpowered. She's just, she got lucky. And she even uses that to her advantage at one point. So I thought that was good.
Jay, how'd you feel about the animation, like the actual finished product, like with the art and everything?
Well, two of the episodes I watched on my phone, so I can't speak that much to it. And by the third episode that I watched that on my tablet, and by then I was just like hoping that I wasn't gonna that guy. He's frustrating because I feel like he knows he's wrong, but he's doing it anyway. Like, I feel like he does know that his people are on the right side of things and that the Empire is on the wrong side of things, but he keeps going with it because he made his choice. And eventually he is going to turn, but it's frustrating in a good way that he hasn't yet.
Yeah, builds a little tension.
Yeah. And then that girl died, and that was sad. Too sad to look at the art.
That
Yeah.
art, like, that opening scene of the first of this season, when they're like just you just see a nice paradisical, if that's a word, Larry. Correct.
I'm not sure it is.
But that little landscape, like I'm like fuck, like this waves, this crystalline water.
Right.
Like I could be patient here, and then all of a sudden you see these two dudes, two fucking lunkheads, running out
Right.
with a piece of equipment, and then these giant enemy crabs. I'm like, oh fuck, like I I really felt like I don't need to go see The Way of Water. Like this is good enough for me. Like I don't need this special like effects advancement. Like I like this. Just give me more of this. Don't Disney? Don't spend your money on that. But I guess I mean they're about to break even next week. I think is what the
No, they did it already, I think.
oh they did it already. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so they did it. M3GAN did it. Okay.
No, M3GAN did more than break even.
No, yeah, but they were like M3GAN was
Oh.
technically a bigger success because it made a profit faster than Avatar.
Right.
M3GAN did?
It's like Napoleon Dynamite is like one of the most successful movies in the
Of all
world
time. Yeah.
because it managed to make $1 million while costing 10,000.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah. And it did it in the weekend with like yeah.
But yeah, they're just breaking even, so they're gonna still need people to go watch it to make it actually worth it. Because you don't make movies to break even; you make movies to make profit.
Yeah.
I always thought you make movies to tell good stories.
Oh no,
Nope.
that's never been the case.
No. No, but
Why?
ideally, that's what we all want.
That's why I failed out of film school.
So, I definitely agree with everything, or not everything, but just about everything you said, Mo, in regards to how it. What is that for?
We all knew you're gonna love Bad Batch.
What's not to love?
I know that there's stuff not to love, but you're not gonna find it.
Look, if there's stuff not to love, like put it out there. That's why we have 4 people on the show. But the fact
I'll
is,
be
not.
honest,
Yeah.
I was just burnt out on live action Star Wars, so it's good to get back to like Star Wars animated.
Okay.
I really feel all of it should just be animated now.
No, that's crazy. Like, it's like what I was gonna say is we're getting.
I was watching that scene in what's the, it was in the third episode where Crosshair's like the one flaw with their defense is that they have droids running it. I'll attack the tank, you get in position. And I was watching that scene play out, and these clone troopers are doing their thing, and they're gonna have recruits now, so some of them are recruits later, and you see them move differently, and you see Crosshair emote like Crosshair's a bad motherfucker. Like he's literally like taunting that tank to aim at his fucking face, like aim at between my eyes. And when you aim between my eyes, I got you, motherfucker. And Crosshair does that. Fucking destroys a fucking droid tank when they aim at his crosshair. And I'm like, man, Andor would have been much better if it was animated.
Why?
Like that scene when they're in the warehouse with the bombs exploding would have looked so much better if it was animated.
I mean, I don't know. I guess I like both because
Those like security corporate costumes would have looked better as animated design, like cartoon design.
I feel like both of those shows, like you said, are showing us like what it's like to live in the Star Wars universe and the
Yeah,
consequences for the
yeah,
big actions that we've seen. That the
yeah.
tentpole stuff. This is like, okay, yeah, that tentpole stuff. We all know that happens, but you know, what is it like when that stuff happens for your average Joe? And it's interesting how they're able to
Average
have
J.
like, I'm sorry, average J. No, no, no. But like, what is it like for the people that have to live with the consequences of those actions? And it's interesting how they're able to tell stories like that along with having like these different main characters that kind of move the story forward to a degree, but they're like they have their wants and their needs and all that kind of stuff in regards to a story as well, but then there's always this like underlying thing of like what is it like living in the Star Wars universe in a real way. But yeah, it makes it a good era of Star Wars to me. Like it's
It'd all
pretty
be a little
interesting.
bit better if it was animated. That's all.
Yeah, well, there it is. There it is. Um, I also agree with you about Crosshairs. I'm like, dude, like that dude's such a badass, and it's one of these things where, like, I can see where you're coming from. Where you're like, hey, it would be great if things were animated, but at the same time, it's like, don't you can't tell me you wouldn't like jump at the opportunity. Ooh, geez, to like see a live action crosshairs or crosshair like scene. Like that would be cool to watch, right?
Look, it could be cool. It would just ruin it. Like we saw the Grand
It was
Inquisitor.
just it would just
Like
ruin it. Nah.
yeah, we saw the Grand Inquisitor. Like he'd be a chubby ass crosshair. Like literally, you'd have to like if you do a Bad Batch live action, you'd literally have to cast each one of them, even though they're supposed to be identical with their differences, their flaws.
Yeah.
You literally have to be like, okay, well, okay, Guy Pearce will be crosshairs. Uh, uh,
Guy
Daniel Day
Pierce.
Lewis, Daniel Day Lewis will be a hunter. Like and it really just takes away. Like it'll be more work than it's worth.
Yeah, that
And
might be true.
you
But
can
he's
get
gonna be Wrecker.
yeah,
Pretty much.
yeah.
He would be a
And
good record though.
like everybody would be good. Like they're as good as every actor I named and Jay named. He helped me out with this casting. Like as good as they would be, isn't as good as the cartoon is. So it's like
Mm,
let's just keep it animated. Like the
yeah.
they're all good. It's like you got was it as as tech you get what is it Jim Parsons or one of those you know like you're like yeah that sounds fun and cool but it's not better than what the animated already is.
Right.
Some things are just better. Like I know I talk shit about when you're talking about Puss in Boots is like oh that's kids. That's just because I never watched it, never enjoyed it, and I'm jealous of people that do. But realistically, like it's just that shit. Like you don't want that shit live ever. Like it's good. That's what it is. You don't want a live action Shrek. That's what it is, and that's
Yeah.
what Bad Batch is. It's like I want live action shit to be more like this. And if I have to like sacrifice live actors, then let's do it. Fuck it. I don't give a shit. I'm used to consuming my expanded universe with imagination anyway. It's just less
Right.
imagination to do. I don't have to read books. I can watch cartoons. You know, like, and that's the thing. Like, is for like, I was thinking this. I didn't even vocalize it because it's just so stupid of me to think like this. But it's like, before Disney bought it, like I had a lot of cool shit for Star Wars that I could read, but it's like I had to read. Now I could just watch, like, so it's like, even if it's not the same as that and they did stuff better then, I just don't have to read it now. Like that. And I'm like, I felt so stupid and ignorant and like such a Cro-Magnon person, but really, like that's what I am. I'm a base. I'm a low denominator. That's
A low denominator.
That's what I am. Yeah,
Well,
whether I like it or not. Yeah.
Well, let's go ahead and give some ratings to this premiere, I guess. Jay, why don't you go first, man? What would you rate the premiere episodes of season 2 of The Bad Batch?
I would give them a 4 out of 5. I like it. It feels good to be back watching Bad Batch. The stunning shit is stupid, which is why it's not
brothers.
a 5.
It's their brothers. They don't want to kill them.
Yeah, at a certain point, it's like it's me or you.
Larry, you never had any brothers. You don't know what it's like.
Listen, I had Joe.
Yeah, but it's different. Like you stung him for fun. Jay, you grew up with brothers. It's like sometimes these motherfuckers gotta go.
Right.
I love them and I'll miss them.
Especially when you have as many of them as the Bad Batch does. It's like, they can afford to lose a couple of them.
Like, look, even they see it amongst themselves, unless they're up to a higher rank, but they see themselves as disposable. It's like there's only a few of them saying, like, maybe this recruitment thing isn't good, at least just for us. Like, they're not thinking other brothers. They're literally thinking, like, let's kind of stick together, because they're gonna replace us. But it's like it's their brothers, and they're not even thinking about their brothers. Yeah.
So Moses, how about you, man? What would you rate Bad Batch?
This is a 5 out of 5 for me. Like, this is one of the best Star Wars shit like you can get. Like, I love Dave Filoni. He does good shit, and if anything, I think The Mandalorian would have been better if Jon Favreau wasn't part of it and just Dave Filoni did it. Like, the more I see Dave Filoni stuff, like, the more I think that. Like, I think that dead weight is Jon Favreau.
Yeah. Okay. As for me, I think I have to give it a 5. Just because it's good storytelling and great characters. And whatever. Oh boy, all you want. Like, watch it and tell me. You tell me what you don't like about it. You tell me what's wrong with it that makes it not a 5. I'll listen. You'll be wrong.
They're stunning people instead of shooting.
It's because you don't have brothers, Joe. That's why. If you had brothers, you would. If you had brothers like me, you get it.
Well, even like the whole point, the whole story was about, like, especially in these first 2-3 episodes, like we made a choice with Omega. Like, this is our new purpose. Like, our brothers aren't our purpose anymore. Like, we got to protect our sister or mother from our brothers. So you got to kill. Yeah.
All right. Y'all ready to do some comics?
Is that what we do here? Talk about comics?
We talk about comics
here.
The chance. It's Fantastic Four.
Comic book
review.
Comic book
like review.
Well, not like that, but like.
Yes. All right. Moses, why don't you tell the people what Beneath Us is?
Beneath Us is something that I came across once while high and looking to spend money on Kickstarter. And it just came up. It just it's Indonesian horror. Um, and
Oh, that explains a lot.
yeah, and it was issue. I funded issue 2. So, but
Okay.
I didn't do any rewards. That's why I didn't do a separate like crowdfunding a comics video review because I didn't get any like no stickers. No, I was just like I just want to do. I just want to see if this comic is worth me giving money to. So I funded issue 2, and my reward tier was getting 1 and 2, and that's the sad part because I went on their website. I don't know when I'm getting issue 3 now. So, but yeah, so it's that, and but what it is, it's a story of these kids that are young adults rather that are part of a rehab program, and they're like, you guys are privileged motherfuckers, and you take your privilege for granted. So you got to see, when you do join a rehab, they do give you a thing of service, like they make you clean the toilets when you first get there or whatever. I don't know if you guys ever been there. I haven't either, but I've heard that they make you clean the toilets. They make you like do things that are of service, like to other
Yeah.
people, but they treat you like shit while they're doing it. So I've heard, and and so this one is a little bit far fetched in the sense that they actually send you to, like Jay, like if you think it's an American story, like oh they're sending these American kids to like Indonesia to do this from a tsunami, yeah,
Mhm.
but realistically, like it's a comic from there, so they could just be from the main city. Like Larry got scared already with the whole comic. But basically it's the story of this rehab group going to like a little island in Micronesia or Polynesia or Indonesia, and the place has been ravaged by a tsunami, and now there's like entities or monsters living under the debris trying to take over the place, and they're killing people, and it seems like some of the natives know, so they'll just feed people to it to like keep it at bay. But it's not gonna stop. And yeah, that's really it. Like I came across this. I don't even know how I found this Kickstarter account. Like it really, when I do say, like I don't know. Like sometimes I can't sleep at night, and I'll just go on Kickstarter and I'll take a joint, smoke a joint or vape or edible or whatever. I'll just wake up and just start funding shit. Like it's so weird. Like it's weird when I get the alerts like, hey, because this one literally last week is like, hey man, you want your comics or not? I'm like, what? It's like we sent you like 5 emails already, and it's like I know it's just digital, it's here forever, but like we need to check you off as that we fulfilled our. Oh yeah, it's a Sunday here, and that's what this was. I was like, man, all right, and I'm like, well, like, we could talk about it. I can make a video of it on my own, and then just making a review video on my own. I could have done that, but I'm like, I want to get other
Where's the
people.
fun in that?
Well, it's fun because I could get it done in like 3 minutes. Yeah.
We can do this in 3 minutes.
3
No, I'm
minutes
joking.
only takes 3 minutes only takes like 10 minutes or 15 minutes of editing. but here it's like, yeah, like let's see what these guys think about it, and so I figured I'd show it to you guys and see what's up. But yeah, that's the story. It's the group of rehab people like learning to be humbled and be of service in a place where there's monsters lurking at any given crevice or piece of debris.
Jay, what'd you think of Beneath Us, man?
So they do the thing that I'm not really into, which they have the opening kill. But this one was actually kind of cool because he got his eye ripped out.
Yeah.
So that was pretty dope.
And do you feel like Jay, I'll ask you a question right now before we get deep into it. I don't know. I don't want to take a lot of your time, but that when I did think of that that first kill. I thought of you when I was reading it because I'm like, oh, okay, wow, this is like I'm he's doing what should be his internal monologue. He's doing it to the dog, and then the dog gets killed, and then he gets killed, and I'm like, oh wow, like I felt like that, even though it is the tropey thing to do, it did feel like, man, they managed to get me to even care a little bit more than I would otherwise in these 4 pages. Did you have any of that inkling at all?
No.
No.
I was
Okay.
way too distracted by how terrible the art is.
Okay.
Wow. Really?
Like it's so weird. It's so uncanny. And I was like, man, that is a weird picture. And that was on my mind for like almost the entire 2 issues. And because it keeps happening. So if I can show you what I mean, you guys don't mind, do you?
No, not at all.
We want examples.
Okay. So I don't know what it looks like he's trying to do photorealistic, but not. But like they used a model, but it just is. This face is really weird to me, and it's really off. And part of it is the coloring and shading, but part of it is just the face. There's something about that face that's just super off. And I get it now that you say it's Indonesian.
Well, I don't know if it's in the story is Indonesian. I don't know if the comic itself, it might be British.
No.
But yeah.
Well, yeah, I couldn't. Like it's yeah, it's just hitting me all the way wrong. And I will say there's another panel that hits me all the way wrong, but like in the right way. If I can, you guys don't mind if I show you that one also. Right here. Now, the only reason this works for me is because it feels like a jump scare. So I would expect it to be uncanny, but it's still uncanny. And then you see the guy cowering, and the shadows like make him look like has the like Joker smile, and it's like, yeah. And these shadows, and that leads me to the third art thing that I really had an issue with, and you don't mind if I show that too? It might demonetize us.
No, go ahead. We're not monetized on this. These reviews, I paid for these myself. My opinions are my own, and then your opinions are your own. We're not sponsored, and we're not monetized. We pay so that you can see what to buy and what not to buy, or try it for yourself.
You fuck these shadows.
That's not even like an art thing. That's just your penis not getting hard.
Right. Like all this fucking self-censorship. Like I said sometimes I accept it because Lawrence keeps badgering me about it. But I see something blatant like this, it's like, man, fuck this shit. Like that's not cool.
It's oh, go ahead, Jay.
But yeah, so the art wasn't doing a lot for me. Like, it's not all the way terrible. The monsters actually do look pretty cool. But story-wise, it's a typical horror movie story.
Yeah.
And I like typical horror movies, so I am enjoying the story. It's weird how often this is done. Like, I could think of, which I can't name because I'm bad with names and titles, but at least 5 movies of like kids doing something for probation instead of like going to jail, like a probation helping thing.
Yeah.
And then like everyone dies.
That's a trope. But how about the monsters from the sea? Like, in addition to that, like how many times have you seen that together?
No, I guess not that often. Monsters of the Sea are normally like Indian legends where you guys disrespected the lake, and so the lake monster is coming to kill you. And the Indian is the only one to survive. Oh, we're supposed to call them Amarans now, or something.
Navi.
I don't know what you people want to be called. Let us know in the comments what you prefer to be called.
Talocan.
And I will call you that if I remember. But yeah, I like the story. Yeah, it's what am I trying to say? Like, I feel like it's nothing special, but like the good version of nothing special. Like, I feel like I know what I'm getting. I got my opening kill. I've learned about these characters. One's disappeared.
Yeah.
And the natives are fucked. Like, they're just fucked.
And that's the thing. Like, if this was 40 minutes of M3GAN, like this was the 40 minutes of M3GAN with an AI instead of these fish people, you're like, oh, I'm in for a ride. Yeah.
I don't know. I liked M3GAN.
I know you did, but that's what I'm saying. Like, but think of it. Like, if you had more of this vibe in those first 40 minutes compared to what the 40 minutes you got, and it is tropey. I'm not gonna say it's not tropey. I know it's tropey because this is literally the horror of Innsmouth from H.P. Lovecraft, just done in the Indonesian town. You know, like there's a whole movie that really just like synthesized all 3 Lovecrafts ocean people thing and called it Dagon. The movie's just called Dagon, and it's literally this too. And it's like it's just not kids in rehab, but it's people that got lost at sea in the storm.
You know, I'm so sick of Lovecraft, and I'm sick of people trying to defend him.
I get it.
It's like he was a racist. Like,
yeah,
people keep bringing up this letter he wrote about how he finds his earlier work cringy, and it's like he never says why. Like, he doesn't say, "Oh, I'm sorry." Like, I find my blatant racism cringy.
No.
Like, for all we know, he's talking about his prose.
No, he's talking about his fish people. Like, he's like, fish people are a crutch.
Yeah,
fish people are a crutch.
But what I'm saying is, but here's the thing: it's like whether you like it or not, this is Lovecraft, and so's M3GAN. You know, like there's literally
is M3GAN Lovecraft.
Yeah, I don't feel like it.
You don't feel like it, but
I know. I don't even think fish people are necessarily like just because there's fish people doesn't make it Lovecraft.
It's not about them being fish people. It's about where they come from. I think
they come from the sea. Fish people come from the sea.
But
where from the sea though? What part of the sea?
Like, if anything, if they made M3GAN more Lovecrafty, it would have been a better movie. It probably would have been Ex Machina.
I know you're saying all this stuff about M3GAN, but it's interesting to me because you're making me wonder. Like, I hear your ideas, but I don't know if that's the M3GAN movie I want to see.
Right. Yeah.
So
No.
it's like,
yeah.
it's making me think about it.
Mm-hmm. It might not be like
I don't think so, but
no. I think
get where you're coming. Like, the important thing is I get where you're coming from,
you and I have
despite
different.
disagreeing with you.
We have different sensibilities when it comes to interpreting horror. We interpret it based on our own, or at least I do on my own experiences. I don't know what gratification you get from horror movies.
I just mostly I just like seeing people get hurt.
Yeah.
But
you don't
I
know.
also like seeing people
But
I like seeing people get hurt, and I like seeing people react to stressful situations.
Do you know why? Do you like to see people get hurt?
I just don't like people in general.
But do you understand the root of why?
Cringy middle school feelings that never evaporated.
Yeah. And that's the thing. So you're going to like stuff that's going to fit that part of you not liking people. I dislike people for different reasons. And watching them get killed, it's like we could watch them get killed, the same people get killed, and you're going to like it a different way than I would, or not. I wouldn't like it based on my own things. And that's how we're attacking M3GAN. Like I deal with AI on a daily basis, and I love my AI, and this movie should have really made me terrified of my Fitbit, and it didn't. I don't know how much you deal with AI on a daily basis, but
Look, I actually saw like I know to be scared of AI.
Yeah,
like I've heard about all the shit Alexa does.
Do you depend on it for your daily life?
No.
Yeah, that's
because it's scary.
Yeah, that's the
right.
difference. Yeah,
I'm already scared of AI.
Yeah. I have to make sure my heart rate is at a certain rate at any given moment. So I need AI to tell me that daily or hourly.
So
yeah.
So
real quick.
But real quick though.
I'm gonna give Beneath Us a 4 out of 5. It's almost time for me to bounce. So
watch
gonna go ahead. What?
Watch M3GAN.
I'll try to remember that. Text it, and
Okay.
I'll watch it.
Cool.
So yeah, Beneath Us 4 out of 5. I liked it despite the art and the tropiness.
Is the art like?
Really am looking forward to issue 3.
Is the art worse than what you would think for an independent comic, Jay? Like, is it subpar for what you would get at like Artist Alley or something like? If they just sold it to you.
For an independent comic, it is not that bad. Like, it's just kind of bad. Like, independent comics get terrible. And it's like...
Can get terrible.
Yeah, they can get really, really bad with, like, even just basic anatomy being off.
Yeah.
And this is the basic anatomy isn't off, but like the complex anatomy is a little bit off.
The art style to me looks like a mix between like if Maleev and Charlie Adler like had a art baby.
Yeah.
I was thinking Alex Ross and what's my dude's name that I love? Clayton Crane.
You feel like this is a mix between Huh?
That's 5 out of 5. All I hear is 5 out of 5.
I'm tripping at the idea of like I don't even understand where he gets Alex Ross from at all. But it's all a matter of opinion, obviously, and
Because
I
the
know that you're
face,
not.
it looks like it's trying to be photorealistic, but
Oh,
like in a
okay.
comic way.
Okay, and then
In any
Colton
case,
Crane.
Velma tomorrow. Final thought.
Wait. Oh, Velma starts tomorrow?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Good final thought, Jay.
Is that
Hey,
black film?
look. It's not black Velma, is it? She's
I don't know.
brown.
Like we talked about the story, but I can't remember.
That's
I
okay.
needed.
Like I don't like. It blows my mind that Jay will look at this art and think it's so terrible. And I know he's saying like it's not as bad, but at the same time, you're not really calling it good art. Like it was a negative for him.
I look. I can take a panel and say it's not good art, but I can't take the comic as a whole and say that it has no good art. You know, there. It's weird, like because the pages he showed, like okay, and then that I attributed. Oh, that's the first kill. Okay, they rushed through that. You know, but when you look at like the amount of debris that they have to draw after like the aftermath and then color it
Exactly.
to like give it dimension, it's like it's a work of art. Like
Dude,
just
the
looking at
art is
the trash that washed up on the shore, like just a patch of trash, and then they do that on different panels. It just to fit the story randomly. I'm like, I don't even know if you could do that on Photoshop. Just recreate it, you know?
and that's the whole thing where in my mind I'm looking at the art and I'm like, man, it's interesting. Like, don't get me wrong. Like I would by no means is it the best art I've ever seen, and I wouldn't say that. It's not like even for a story like this, it's not like the art that I would necessarily think of like, oh, I want the book to look this way.
Yeah.
But the storytelling that's happening panel to panel is amazing to me. And it's hard for me to like especially like even in that first in that opening scene, and you have the dude like like you said narrating to the dog, which is a trope, but it's working. And like the same picture he showed us with the guy with the face, I looked at that and I was like, man, like that is an expression.
Yeah.
Like I feel like that joint captures 100% what that guy is feeling in that moment.
Yeah.
And just like how like he's looking through stuff, he finds a picture, and just even like how it just like we always talk about how with comics, part of the reason why it's such an engaging medium is because it has to like your mind fills in the gaps, you know what I mean? From like that there's a static picture, and then there's another picture, and you have to fill in the gap between what happened from here to there. But when it's done well, it's like it's seamless. You know what I'm saying? Like it happens seamlessly, and I feel like that opening sequence does that really well, man. And then you get to the actual like kill, and it's just like, oh my god, like like I was genuinely like, dude, like why is this happening to this guy? You know what I mean? Like the eye thing, and I was like, oh my god, like, and I'm just saying, like the storytelling was so done so well that by the time we get to that part, I care about this dude already enough to be like, oh no.
Yeah.
And that happened in 3 pages. There's
Yeah.
whole comic books I go through, and I don't give a damn about any of the people in it. You know what I'm saying? I'll read entire series, and I'm just like, man, I can't believe that they messed
We
around
just
and.
watched a whole movie of a dog killing people we didn't give a fuck about.
So I don't know, man. I just was like, it was interesting. Another thing that stuck out for me in this too, which I was like, and I noticed it as soon as I went through the first, like, the first page, basically, the artist name came first, which
Uh-huh.
I was like, oh, that's interesting. Because, like in comics, at least normally that I read, um, they usually put the writer first. But, it was like after the cover, you get to Beneath Us. And then the first thing you see, the first name you see is artist Hernan Gonzalez. And then the next name you see is writer and letterer Joseph Oliveira. And I was like, oh, like that's cool. Like I'm just like, I mean, because I read so many comics, it stuck out for me immediately because I was like, oh, like they, that's not usually you do writer artist. And it's not to say like there's nothing like I actually I guess I noticed it more so because I was like that's novel. Like it's just not the way I'm used to seeing it, and that's cool to me because it almost felt like how like someone giving props to a DJ,
Mm-hmm.
like a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like back in the day, like there was a point in time where the DJ was like the foundation when it came to like hip hop music, and you always had like you know the DJ's name first, and then the MC, and then that flipped on its head. And sometimes like just like I was like Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. You know what I'm saying? But then obviously that's not the case anymore. But yeah, but that the storytelling that was done in those first few pages of this issue one were phenomenal to me. And I feel like it continued throughout the book because you learned a lot about these characters uh, without like in very subtle ways. Yeah,
I'm
it's messed
sharing this
up, man.
page because this is the page like what you described. The character that's not even the character in the comic. Like you're invested in
Mhm.
him like 2-3 pages. The
Yeah.
splash page was his death,
Yep.
and and this is it. Like this is like there's a page dedicated to him. Like and in a way, I feel like they even
Hmm.
kind of respected him. It's like
Hmm.
okay, we'll use you. We're gonna tribute you too. And
Right.
that's not
Right.
American comics don't do that. You only get that
Hmm.
from these type like people that view death and sacrifice a little different, you know.
Hmm.
And it's not strange that they're like Hispanic last names and the people writing this
Yeah.
and what you see, like they respect death and
Hmm.
it, it's very yeah, the comic itself, like I really wish I would have gotten like a trade paperback because I do feel like I want more of it. And I'm like, man, now I gotta fund issue 3. Um
But
when
there is no trade yet, right?
No, like we're literally like issue 2 just came out last week. Like
Yeah.
so we reviewed issue 1 and 2. And
Hmm.
there's stuff that happens, but it is world building. And it's you got your first kill that we see here. You get a
Hmm.
second kill already. So it's already
Hmm.
like better than Megan. And but it's building on that. Like people are like the dude you thought was gonna die didn't die, and he's like,
Hmm.
dude, there's something weird going on. And he's like the dude in charge of these juveniles that are like, dude, like we've noticed there's weird shit. Because I kind of trying to tell you. Yeah.
Hmm.
We'll see where it goes. I mean, a good 4 or 5 issues, I think, is the lifespan of this particular story, not the
Hmm.
actual story. Like these characters, like you can give me a good full story in 5-6 issues, but this itself could be a franchise. Yeah,
Oh yeah, no, I agree with you on that. And this it is, I mean, a limited series, right? Like isn't it
yeah.
like
They do. I think almost everything they do is a limited series. So they'll do. If
oh,
you go
okay.
to I think it was afterlightcomics.com.
Hmm. Hmm.
Uh, I don't want to say it wrong, but let me
It's
double
Afterlight.
check.
Yeah, Afterlight Comics.
Yeah, they have, because I went and I'm like, man, can I just buy the next issue? And it's like it's not even up there. Like the email that told me to download my shit, so they can check off that they fulfilled my my reward. Uh, they promote the new book, Moth Hill, which is a Mothman based book, and
Yeah.
that's one of our so that's one of our cryptozoic shit here in the U.S. But
Mm-hmm.
I might check that out too. Like some of them look like they have better art than others, but
Right.
I really when I went to the website, I'm like, you know what? Can I just buy a bundle of everything like digitally? Because
Right.
everything's
Right.
issues. So I'm like, I could really. It's not a shared universe that I know of, but I can
Mm-hmm.
catch up on this whole universe in like a month. Yeah.
Right.
So
I did
I'm
notice
really,
they had a Goat Man one too,
yeah, yeah,
which made me. I mean, again, I was kind of like, huh, like it does seem like you said, you saw Mothman, which I'm like, oh yeah, like
yeah.
I know that, like, um, that, what is it called?
The
What's
urban
the right
legend.
term? Right, there it is. Thank you for that. Like I know the urban legend of Mothman. I also know like the Goatman urban legend too. So I'm just like, oh man, like are they just like
Where's that
tapping
from?
into all
I don't
those?
think I knew that one.
You know, it's an American one as well. I just remember, but I don't remember what part of America specifically. But it's about like a guy that would like uh well, not a guy, but like a man goat hybrid that attacks uh cars on dark roads with like an axe. Yeah, it's a weird, wild thing, and like
Yeah,
but it's just it's just one of those things where when I saw that, I was like, "Goat Man," because I'm like, that's not something that like I mean, Mothman. I feel like for a long time was pretty obscure until that movie came out.
yeah.
Um, but
With Richard
but
Gere.
Goatman is even more obscure, and
Yeah,
so it struck me as odd because I was just like, wow, like who even knows about that? And I'm like, and I'm just saying like I don't even know if it's the right thing or not. But the reason why I bring it up is because from a cover perspective, at least, I felt the same way you did about looking at some of the others. I was like, well, yeah, Goatman doesn't look like it has good art, and especially in comparison to this book, where I'm just. But again, it was
yeah.
just the cover. It's like the interior art can be completely different, obviously, than the covers.
And like, the story could just be compelling enough where the art is just
Of
a
course.
vehicle as well. Like we know that in comics, we know that specifically in independent comics. Where, I mean, look, like we read that book, The Villain, with
Mm-hmm.
Pat Lloyd drawing, and it's like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Pat Lloyd is like, you look at his Marvel work, and it's like, man, Pat Lloyd is tight. You look at that book,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, this isn't the guy that
Mm-hmm.
drew that X book, but it is.
Right.
It's just that's what he
Right.
chose to do there, and
Mm-hmm.
maybe on a rush or got the guidance he
Mm-hmm.
got for that book, but that's just how things go in comics. It's like sometimes too much editorial, yeah,
Right.
and too
Right.
little, you know.
Right. Um,
Yeah.
how did you feel about I mean, I know you kind of touched on it, but what aspect of the story did you really like? Like what stood out?
I like the monsters from the sea, like that are like
Mm,
people, but they're like hybrids, and this is the time where they can come and do their thing. Like that, it's a Lovecraftian thing, and I love that in Lovecraft. And
right.
here, it's happening again, and it's like these people aren't like the natives are the good people, but you're not seeing their story. You're seeing the people that are here to help, and it's not like they sent
Hmm.
like, oh fuck, let's send all our best surgeons and our best construction people. Like they're sending drug addicts to learn how to be
Right.
humble. It's like, yeah,
Right.
fuck people, kill them all, murder them all, gut them all, fuck 'em, like that. So for me, it's like I want to, if anything, I want to learn more about that underwater world, which is why I say watch Dagon, because
Hmm.
that's the difference between. Well, I wouldn't say it's Lovecraft, but somebody that loves Lovecraft doing a
Yeah.
Lovecraft type story. and it's like like when you look at Dagon, it's like, oh, these rich assholes got lost in the storm, and they got onto this island where people worship sea people, and they give human sacrifices. But then that movie actually takes you into the society of the people and why they do, and it's like, we don't want to be sunken again. We want to be on the surface, so we're gonna feed you to the Lord Dagon, and that's it. The long and short of it. So it's a horror for them, but it's fine for you, and you see enough of the society to give you that. So I don't know how, if this would give me more of the society, it'd be cool. If it doesn't, it'd be cool too. Like I really like, I'm in it for the kills too.
I found it really unsettling when they took a look, or when they used the binoculars and you had that like one like aquatic thing, just like just like, and I was just like, oh jeez, and he kind of looked at it, he's like, what the hell?
And that's the thing,
like, oh,
that's one of the things you like when you criticize the art, and it's like, look, it's not the best comic book art you're gonna see, but somebody drew that part that created that reaction in you, and that's what really art is about, is moving that story where the story wants you to feel, like him saying, wait a minute, and then putting that on, and then you see that, like, and you feel something, even if it's not the best art, but you get what he's feeling. It's job done, 5 out of 5. That's it. That's
what this is. Exactly, because like even there's a, like, just before that, when he sees the thing with the binoculars and whatnot, he's talking to the guy in the boat, and he's just talking, and then he turns to the dude, he's like, you don't understand anything I'm saying, do you? Because nobody, they're in Indonesia, no one, like barely anyone there speaks any English. You don't understand the thing that I'm saying, dude. And it just cuts to a photo, and the guy's just like, like he just like smiles big, and it's like literally like one of those smiles that, when you're like, that people give when somebody's saying a whole bunch of things to them, and they're trying to, like, they don't understand any of it, but they just want to, convey that's like, oh, I'm okay not understanding what you're saying, or like, hey, I'm just trying to, like, affirm you, even though I don't know what you said. And I was like, dude, it's such a, like, perfect expression that to the point where I'm like, dude, did this guy have like a photo reference of that expression, or does he just does he just know? Like, how do you know that expression that, like, intimately, huh?
There's probably a guy in Indonesia about to file. There's probably a guy in Indonesia about to file.
Yeah, right. Like, right. It's like such a wild, like, it's a wildly specific thing, but it's like, if you've had that experience, and I know, maybe not everybody has, but like, I mean, I feel like I've done that myself. Where I've done that expression just to be like, yeah, I don't know what you're saying, but
you might have done that.
I'm with you. I'm maybe, and I'm just like, oh wow, that's really interesting. Yeah,
but okay, one of those, like, I'm kind of mad now because it was an enjoyable experience reading these comics. Like, I wonder what I didn't even. I got to go back. I should have gone back and looked, like, what the other, like, prizes were. Like, because it's like, man, if I or a sticker, like, the covers are striking, but they're not the greatest. But if I got a sticker or a print of that, I'd be okay. I could pay an extra $10 for that. Right. The only thing I can think of, because I did pay in pounds. Whenever I do, like, that's where, like, you can't get me high enough. I'm not gonna trust customs to get my shit across the pond. So if you're starting high, I'll give you money, but I'm not giving if there's a material gain out of it. Like, I'm not gonna fall for that shit again. Like, I might not ever get it. So I'll just pay for the digital comics, and that's it. So I noticed that in looking in my rewards and stuff, like, a lot of stuff I do get from other countries is digital. I don't get any prizes. So Hey, look, that's the
Right.
easiest way to fund your comic. Just send me the link and tell me you're in Turkey or something. Yeah. In
Yeah.
Crimea. Yeah.
Crimea. Yeah. So okay, let's rate this bad boy. Mo, what would you give Beneath Us number 1 and 2?
For me, this is easily a 4 out of 5, even 5 out of 5. I think like I
Mhm.
want more story, and usually I don't give 5 out of 5 until I get the finished story. But I feel
Mhm.
like I got enough here. Like this is if this was 30 minutes of a movie, like I'm already invested into the whole movie. Like,
Mhm.
yeah, I know I'm gonna enjoy this movie. Even like
Yeah.
there's very little they can do to like turn me off from it. So I
Right.
definitely like gonna email the dude tomorrow. I was like, hey man, when am I getting issue 3? Yeah.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
um
Absolutely.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
definitely like that might be the name of this episode. Like, when am I getting issue 3? Because I do
There
want
it
to see
is.
I want to see the rest of it. I want to see, see it come to fruition. Look, might end up being executive producer on the motherfucker.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I enjoyed it thoroughly. I'm gonna give Beneath Us number 1 and 2 5 out of 5 as well. I liked it a lot, and it yeah, it's definitely doing something really right because it made me uh, care about a lot of people in this book in a very short amount of time without even giving me much.
Mhm.
Where I'm just like, because like realistically, there is like a mystery in regards to like who each of these individuals are and why they're in the situation that they're in.
But even
And I feel
the
like the
dude that
book's going
died
to give
at
it to us.
even the fodder, like the kill to get you
Hmm.
sucked into the book, like he's like, oh,
Hmm.
let's see what we can salvage, and all he gets is a picture of his family, and he doesn't
Right.
look like he looks in the picture, and it's
No.
like that
Mm-mm.
alone just establishes enough caring, like fuck. And then the eye, like I knew when he ripped out that thing and his eye came out, I'm like, oh, Larry's not gonna have a good time. And it's not just the visual, it's the like
Yeah.
the journey he just went through in these pages. I know it hits you different than me, but
Yeah.
it definitely, like, if it hit me that way, I knew for you, I'm like, man, Larry's good thing. And
Yeah.
when you look at a movie like Megan, and it's like Megan had none of that
Yeah.
in what
No.
you saw. In what you saw, it had
Yeah. No.
none
One
of
hundred
that. And
percent. Mm-mm.
they're banking on making, the what, 12 million in the opening week to break even without that. And this guy is charging me $5 on Kickstarter. Like, I'll pay
Right.
$5 a month on Kickstarter to keep getting this type of story instead of going to the theater to see
Yeah.
Megan. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's interesting because it's like it's not. It's definitely something about the writing in that
Yeah.
movie because the people in it can act.
Hmm.
It's like the. I mean, I know like the aunt the
Yeah.
aunt is the young lady from whatchamacallit, right? From
Well, I'm predisposed not to trust her because,
why?
well, she's Brian Williams' daughter, the dude from NBC News that lied about his time in Iraq and all that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's her. So,
Oh,
like,
okay. I
I don't.
see.
Anytime I see her in a movie, I don't trust her.
Yeah, that's the chick from
From Get Out
um
and Girls.
from Get Out. Right, right. Yeah. Yeah, so it's like that she can deliver when she's given something. And it's not
I
even
know
like
she's not.
say what?
I know she's not to be trusted.
That's what you know. There it is. She gets it from her daddy.
Yeah, that's why she was so good in Get Out. Like, she had me like, if I was a black dude, like, I wouldn't date her.
There it is. That can be the tagline under the title. The title will be where can I get when am I getting number 3? And then below it in small letters, if I was a black dude, I wouldn't date it. So, all right, cool, man. All right. It's time for us to get out of here. So, need some final thoughts music. There it is. Look, it's just me and you, Moses Magnum. Give me some final thoughts, man.
Yeah, how it should be. Larry, look, I got this thing. Larry. You don't know what it is, but it has.
What is that?
It's a 5-track recorder, which means that for WonderCon we're going to be grabbing audio into this from XLR mics while this shit's in my pocket.
What?
Yeah. So it powers 3. It has 2 stereo mics, online lav mic for commentary or whatever, but 2 full powered XLR mics. So we're gonna be all the shit we're doing at WonderCon is gonna be with pro fucking audio. Yeah. So yeah, so that's just the
We have
comment.
mic cords. Mic cords coming out of our pockets.
Out of my pockets, yeah. Like I got cargo pants. Yeah.
You got cargo pants.
But yeah,
okay.
it's gonna be like, it's the shit's gonna be off the chain, Larry, as the parlance of the urban youth.
Of the urban youth. There it is. Okay, cool.
But
I'm not mad at it.
If you like, subscribe, hit the bell, go to fantasticforum.live. Don't go to .tv. That's Jay trying to get you to see Ghosty or something. But yeah.
Yes, indeed. And for the entire Fantastic Forum, thank you all so much for hanging out with us. We appreciate you. We'll be back next week. In the meantime, go ahead to our social media, like, subscribe, follow, comment. Let us know what you liked, what you don't like, what it is you want to hear more about, so that we can, bring that content to you, because we want to bring you the content you want to be watching, that you want to be participating in and whatnot. So until then, we are the Fantastic Forum. Good night.